Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'll be your moderator, Brandon Jones. Joining me this week, Brad Ellis.
Hi.
Michael Huber.
Hello. Do you ever get the like skin that comes out like right here?
Yeah.
Oh,
do
of
you,
course.
Careful.
Do you leave it be? Do you pick at it?
It's a gamble.
I like to get a tweezer.
It's a gamble. Yeah, you know what the tweezer though, because it's like a horror film. That might be rooted down to your knuckle. Like you never know how deep that thing goes. It could just be a little flap ready to jump ship, or it could be too deep. And then that's one of those dumb things.
Are you picking at it right now?
It's like scratching the very tip of your finger,
it.
where it's like not an extreme injury, but then you realize I touch everything with that finger.
Exactly.
My lazy co-moderator,
Right,
Daniel Bloodworth, is on vacation. He is not here with us tonight, and as you can see,
Blood.
chaos is ensuing.
Yeah. No supervision.
Yeah, off the rails this time, dude.
Let's
go.
Definitely the two rowdiest possible panelists for these Allies podcasts, so I'm going to have to exert my authority a little bit to keep things in line. Are you cozy, Huber?
So cozy. I got my
We're here to talk about some of the biggest headlines in the world of video games. But before we do that, we must first answer, for all the mistakes we made last week, Huber seems occupied. Brad Ellis, can you please begin corrections music? Boop. Nice. PSO 2 was confirmed to be released in June in the third Prologue livestream, which aired about a month ago. While there's no exact date announced yet, there will likely be announced at Prologue Event 4 tomorrow. Ben and Blood were talking about it, hopefully coming out before the new Final Fantasy XIV expansion, which obviously will be given the June release date. They're making it seem like a total mystery as to when it'll be released, but it is coming out within the next few weeks. Bottlelight's guess, who left this comment, is June 9th or June 23rd. Blood was not here to corroborate this, but Blood's like, I know, but they were being confusing around the announcement, so Blood does not like to get those details wrong. It is the Summer Game Fest, not the Summer Games Fest. That's on me. I said Phil Schiller was an app fellow. He is an Apple fellow. Apple does have apps, but that's not what Phil Schiller is. The full PC port of TimeSplitter 2 was indeed found in Homefront: The Revolution. Way to go, Huber. I missed that entirely that you were bringing that up. Some people were angry that we missed that. There's a TimeSplitters remaster project called Rewind, last updated in February of this year. I guess they have like a rudimentary approval, but that doesn't mean a cease and desist won't be coming. And we did an episode of Level on TimeSplitters 2 at Game Trailers. Do you recall either of you being involved in that?
Chicago?
Ooh.
No,
I wonder who that was.
not, but I think it's Chicago. I think I've seen it.
What year was that?
It's probably Huber, right?
Maybe a little before. Oh, it sounds so familiar.
Maybe
Dude,
that was before your time.
Level. I love it.
But it reminded me of all those like foggy memories of games. A lot of those probably came from Level. A lot of those were like scripts we were approving or stuff I was reading. And just like, oh, didn't know about this game, or that's neat. End corrections music, please.
Love
Boop. Thanks, Brad.
Sorry, is that how you do it? I don't know.
I kind of threw it. You do it the way you want to do it. I kind of threw that at you though, but you did very well.
Professional.
Let's start this podcast off on the right note. Something we can be proud of, something we can be happy about. A silver lining from this last week in video games. A big one from Donovan Lawrence. Last week, Infilament, the creator of one of the greatest fighting game guides out there, released an official fighting game glossary. Fighting games, as I'm sure many people already know, are a particularly difficult genre to get into due to the sheer amount of tenacity required to learn all the systems, techniques, and strategies involved in them. One of the major barriers to fighting games has always been the vernacular the community has developed over the years, although personally, I, Brandon Jones, have loved not knowing what the hell people are talking about part of the time. If you've ever watched a tournament on Twitch where unable to understand half the terms the commenters were saying, you're not alone. Terms like punished, crouching short, fuzzy, reversal, DP, many, many more are often glossed over by the people who use them on a daily basis, and this just creates another hill for the newcomers to climb as they enter the genre. The glossary is an excellent resource for the entire community. Over 650 terms are carefully explained, with 200 plus video examples and Japanese translations.
Wow.
I'm not sure if Donovan is a maybe work in press for Infilament, because we're getting lots of details here. You can easily search by the term of the game and share links to terms with your friends. The definitions often link to other definitions, and it's extremely easy to navigate. I just love the amount of work that was put into this, and I think it'll be an incredibly useful resource for everyone in the community. I think it's breaking down one of the barriers that kept people from wanting to learn these games. Did you feel a barrier between you and the vernacular?
Kind of. I didn't know everything. Like all the sayings and stuff. If I had questions, I would always just ask Ben or Damiani, though. We're lucky in that sense, but I guess, for most people.
Yeah.
Like, they said happy birthday one time. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Then I found out what it means.
Happy birthday.
Marvel vs. Capcom shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Ben and I talk about like the training modes. We just talked about this recently. The training modes in fighting games. So I just think like having better tutorials, trainings, and obviously this resource, like, that's a first step. That's awesome. That's a great resource.
Not only do you got to learn the gameplay, but you got to learn the lingo.
Yeah.
To hang.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you can share it too. That kind of sounds like fun, you know, like
cool.
fun terms and stuff. I'm glad it's easily searchable, because that also kind of sounds like homework, and it's like, oh, I'm okay. I don't need to do more research, but for people that want to know. This was not necessarily a big week for video games, but the last 24 hours, my goodness, has been pretty good in terms of like a pre-E3 vibe. Lots of events. 2 of these I attended, 2 of these I did not. Shout out to Ben Moore, who was ill today, who was actually going to be on the podcast.
Shout out.
Who would have a lot to weigh in on the first event that we're going to be talking about. I'm actually curious to talk about how these events went down. I was not in attendance for the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary special.
We were.
Did I? Yes. Before we get into the specific details, what did you think of the event in general? Had a cozy vibe, kind of a Mr.
Had a
Rogers
really
neighborhood.
cozy vibe.
Super cozy. Traditional Dragon Quest where we get fucked over and don't get like half the stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Me and Huber, we officially gave up on Dragon Quest X.
I've thrown in the towel. I've officially thrown in the towel.
Yeah, it's over for us. We're done.
Yep.
The hope is dead, dude.
No more hope?
Zero
None?
Yeah.
Zero.
They had some shirts. They were cool. They're like, oh, these aren't coming west either. And I was pissed.
Yeah.
We get like half of what they show. It feels bad, man.
Yeah. They showed the Dragon Quest III remake, Jones. I'd like to get your take on this thing, man.
I saw somebody post a screenshot of it on Twitter, and I was like, what the heck is that? I wonder what's going on there. Holy cow, I'm playing this game.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
And this, dude, I don't know what it is. I think it started with the Arkham series, where I remember like back at Game Trailers being like, hey, should we, like, it'd be cool if Punisher got one of these games. And I remember a lot of people were like, developers should be able to do whatever they want to do. Like, I don't want people to follow a paradigm and just take a model and just do that. But then we get like Breath of the Wild. Then we get Octopath Traveler, and you're just like,
more of this.
I want people to be creative, but holy cow, it's beautiful. I never want to say this out loud because, you know, it's like giving up. It's like Final Fantasy X coming to the West. I want that for Final Fantasy VI so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I want that
I think
style.
that'd be a smart move, actually, to do all those older Final Fantasies. If they don't want to do, like, anything crazier than that, I think people would be stoked.
Not all of those old Final Fantasies.
4, 5, 6, 3.
Not 4. No. Shh, stop.
What? No, you get them all, Jones.
Jones just wants one of them.
Not just
He only needs one of them.
You just...
What? The other ones are good.
Of course they're amazing. We got an awesome 4 remake already for 3DS, and I was like,
that's true.
Never happened.
I think,
but I don't want to get my hopes up.
Also with this, first of all, the creature designs of Dragon Quest are like my favorite in the world. So just seeing them in that 2D, 3D visual style is going to be so awesome the whole way through.
Specifically for listeners, you know, Project Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler, like that style, you know, like 2D, but with hella depth.
2D, but 3D.
And the fact, we'll get into it in a moment, I'm sure, but the fact that Dragon Quest Dragon Quest 12 is potentially going to be a radical shakeup for the franchise, that makes this 2D, 3D remake even more special in a way, because it's like that old school traditional style. So if people are nervous about, you know, maybe the franchise going in a different direction, then we have this one to look forward to. So
yeah,
I like that.
I agree, Huber.
And Yuji Horii said there might be an unexpected surprise for 1 and 2, which won't be unexpected if you say that. But it's still cool.
It felt very loose, Jones, the whole thing. They're just kind of like almost just spitballing stuff or ideas out there, it felt like.
But those are still relatively big projects, and hopefully that does well for them. But I mean, let's roll right into it. 12.
Just a logo. This is one of my favorite logo reveals ever.
How do you rank them?
Seriously.
How do you rank what separates one logo reveal to another logo reveal?
Love the Arkham Knight logo reveal. I think I just like flames and darkness, maybe. There's kind of the similarity there.
Okay.
Logos don't traditionally wow me, Jones. I'm not like waiting for, with you and trailers, I'm not waiting for a logo. I'm not judging logos, but this one just really stood out to me. And that's all we really had to go on. And then obviously, they gave us a little teases about making choices, big choices, This is a Dragon Quest game for adults. That's exactly what they said. It's for adults, yeah.
Right.
Maybe darker themes, and some combat changes as well.
Yeah.
So pretty
You love the
shocking.
combat from 11. Does that upset you at all?
Well, they've never really changed it. It's such a traditional, things here and there, obviously like psyching up and different changes, but it's always been a traditional turn-based JRPG. So, like I said earlier, the fact that we get that 3 reimagining remake, that'll maybe give me my turn-based fix. So I'm super excited for them to try. Always down for them to try something new.
Yeah. Jones, for me, it's like a double-edged sword. The appealing part for Dragon Quest for me and many people is it's rooted in tradition, traditional JRPG stuff, but the idea of them shaking up the formula a little bit more and experimenting is super exciting to me.
And saying that right out of the gate, they're being like, that's kind of our mindset for this.
Yeah.
And so we can expect it and anticipate it just for being that. Yeah, I totally booted up 11 expecting it to be very old school. I wanted it to be old school. It's like same with Bravely Default. It's like, it's just nice to get that, the return to old vibes. Did both of you play 11 at launch?
Yeah.
I played a bit later.
Okay.
I played later on.
Day one, dude.
Yeah. I played
just because of work, right? You had just
8
other...
months. Yeah, I had some work shit.
Yeah.
Got to it late.
Yeah. Well, you played Draconic mode too, so it took you a little while longer.
It took me a long ass time, like 100 hours. Yeah. So long.
This Dragon Quest 12, The Flames of Fate specifically, worldwide release date. No release date yet, but we know it'll be worldwide,
good,
which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Kind of
let's the Dragon Quest 10 announcement sting a little less, because we got 11 so much later in the West. That was a brutal wait.
That was a long time.
So yeah.
I didn't play at launch, and I could still feel just like, man, I feel like I've seen this entire game. So many trailers and cutscenes, and it's montages and stuff. Like I know these characters really well now.
Totally.
Like they're still in there 5 months or something before it comes out. But it reminds me of Yakuza going now. It's Judgment kind of carrying the reins of doing more combat focused stuff. You have like Monster Hunter, which still is releasing lots of different versions of itself, but is now much more popular in the West. And so you're mostly positive about potential changes.
Very
across the board.
positive.
Not only just combat, but just anything else they could shake up. Like
Yeah, sure.
I really want to see it. I want to see. They hyped up choices, and Mass Effect is on the brain, Jones. I would love, just spitballing, I would love, like, we're entering the new generation. I would love radically, dramatically different choices in a JRPG or a big RPG. A 70-hour journey, 50-hour journey where we all talk to each other and we are on different paths, That's kind of what they were saying, they're hyping up choices. So then my mind is racing, we're entering the future of video games all the time, like next generation. So you're going to hype up choice. I would love to see choices that really, truly impact a sprawling narrative. Because even The Witcher, Blood and I had dramatically different endings. And as you go through the game, little choices make you read and feel situations differently. But I would like to see that taken to the next level and really shake up how choice affects a big RPG.
I also would love it to affect the party as well, where like you can get into decisions where like it's like okay, you can fix this problem, but either one of these characters has to leave forever. They're gone, and like doesn't mean they're dead or anything. They're just like, I don't agree with you. Like I'm not. Greedfall kind of got into that. Like they would argue, and so yeah, they would. Yeah, it was pretty much one big happy family in 11. But like that might be part of the adult thing. It's like these relationships are going to be very difficult. They're not going to be. But I'm just new to this. But both of you guys go at least dating back to. I mean, I played Dragon Quest 1 on the NES, but like you love 8 so much, and you're generally happy with where. Because there's a lot more stuff announced today. Just Dragon Quest in general, the franchise. You're happy after today's...
Yeah, that 11 prequel, Brad. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Eric and Mia.
Dragon Quest Treasures.
Yeah.
Here. Eric and Mia from 11, spin-off, baby. Treasure hunt and adventure, man. It's going to be jolly.
That's really cool. What a cool little pocket to put it in, Eric and Mia prequel. I think that is more of that stuff. Like, more... side games with specific characters and story base. That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you expecting that from 11 for them to like
No.
dive back into these characters? Because Final Fantasy's really done that with the last big franchises, where they're like, okay, how many more weird VR games or whatever can we get out of 15? Where I don't recall that from previous Dragon Quests. If it was like, all right, we're at least going to get 2 or 3 little side projects. Dragon Quest Keshi Keshi, let us not forget. That's our free-to-play mobile game.
The eraser game, yeah.
The puzzle game.
Cool erasers.
And you won't get to play it, but Dragon Quest X is going offline. It's called Dragon Quest X Offline.
Well,
Still in Japan.
maybe a chance for that one. Maybe,
Yeah, maybe a chance for that one.
Maybe. Online, no chance in hell.
Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe this one.
I don't think I would make time for this, but I still like got excited when I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's why they would be announcing an offline version, because they're like, okay, it doesn't matter if servers or whatever language, difficulties, you can just play it with subtitles or something. It's like, no, they're not. It's not.
Yeah.
No interest for people to check it out. But we'll have enough Dragon Quest to play. When do you think we're getting Dragon Quest 12?
Couple years.
Yeah. I feel like 2023 absolutely the absolute earliest. 2024 and beyond way more likely.
Yep.
So.
This is a ways away.
Yeah, ways away. Ways away. Do you guys think we'll see any more around E3 time? Do you think we'll see gameplay or a tease or a CG trailer maybe?
I'll just say Hori said still a ways away.
Yeah.
About the game.
Still a ways away.
So
well, that's
not even just thinking about it.
That's what's interesting about this week is like Dying Light 2 is definitely something I think we're going to see more of at E3. But like here they were today with new stuff, and like we'll probably see something from the numerous Sonic things announced, But yeah, especially with an anniversary thing, it seems like more like they're. I think some people are getting their stuff out of the way in May, and then June.
Yeah, Huber, I think E3 is going to be Final Fantasy stuff. Like that'll be their blowout.
Nice. Dude, new fresh 16 trailer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could smell it, baby.
Yeah.
Sizzling back there. Whew.
Speaking of long franchises that have done very well sometimes, have not done well other times. I'm going to bump ahead of Horizon Forbidden West, and let's talk about Sonic, man.
Let's do it.
Announced a pretty fair amount of things today. There's a lot going on with Sonic. There was a presentation today for Sonic, and Sonic's everywhere. And like, I don't even like. Did they? I didn't see the Sonic event. Did they talk about the movie at all? Did they at least like tease it or hint it? Wow.
Nope. Well, not two. I think they made it briefly touched on the first one for something, but nothing substantial at all.
I remember like the Assassin's Creed movie moment at the Ubisoft press conference back in the day. We were all just like,
oh my god, I forgot about that movie.
They were just kind of chilling on the couch.
I watched it.
So we're making a movie.
I watched it recently.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I never saw it here.
It's just boring. It's just pretty boring.
It's just boring.
It's just boring. Yeah.
But Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I'm looking forward to. I think it's a fairly anticipated film.
Sure, yeah.
Sonic 2. I think people really like the first one. So I think Sonic's in good shape. And these are a lot of really exciting announcements. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if I ever said anything bad about Sonic.
This is good stuff. Sonic Colors, one of the best, I think, of Generations, Colors, and Mania as like the last decade of like the good Sonics. So
I think it's been more than a decade since Colors.
Yeah.
That was a Wii game, dude.
Yeah, when was that?
But that's the thing is I have no footing on Sonic, Huber, and so whenever I see, I'm like reading articles or I see people online where they're like, well, that was one of the good ones. It's like, was it?
For sure. Colors was good.
Can I trust this person? Not because I don't know anything about it. And I'm just like, was it to the hardcore fans that it was good? Or was it
Colors is sweet. Colors is sweet. It's like a amusement park, Eggman amusement park. And it just nails the speed and the levels, Because Generations had a lot of that too. Just the like Sonic Adventure Shamu style, like running around, just a lot of that, just nailing that sense of speed. So it's cool.
A new Sonic game is coming in 2022. And if you ask me, the hypest thing about it is that Roger Craig Smith is still Sonic. That a voice actor still gets to return.
I think there was a leak, Jones, also on that title. It might be Sonic Rangers.
Rangers.
Not concrete, but
Rangers.
Perhaps a leak.
Okay, what if it is concrete? What if it's called Sonic? Just throwing leaks out at me. I don't. Oof.
Yeah,
How many more you got? You have any others in this podcast? Wait.
I can look for you, dude.
Yeah, I'd love for the leaks. Sonic leaks. Let's go, dude. I'm all in
What
on
are we?
that.
What are we doing? Is this Days Gone? Are we going out into the wilderness to?
Yeah, with
Or is
Rangers.
this
Who
or is this
knows?
are we like a bounty hunter maybe, or
Sonic
like a Texas Ranger?
Forces is one of the best 5s I've ever played.
Is every
Someone
Sonic
out
game
there
ever made
is
just swimming around in your head right now? Huber?
Someone out there's pissed.
Well, because Rangers, I think of Rangers Forces.
Sure.
That's why my mind
Right.
went there. Yeah.
All right, let's put some of this into context. So yeah, there is a new Sonic game coming. We saw very, very little of it, if even a level from that game, just a little tease. 2022. There's gonna be more at the Summer Game Fest kickoff.
Great.
Sonic Colors Ultimate is coming to PC and consoles. That was a 2000. What was that? 2010.
There,
Wii
a
exclusive?
decade, yeah.
Was it 2010?
Little over a decade.
That's going to be an Epic Game Store exclusive, but also on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September 7th. And Huber just threw out Sonic Forces. Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, and Sonic Mania are all coming to PlayStation now. And there's going to be a new game called Sonic Origins, which is Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, and CD. Possibly more. They were kind of like, wink, wink. I don't know, more games, but like there might be more modes or something else in there.
Great. Very, very cool. Always, those have been re-released over the years, but as long as we just keep getting those, bring them along, bring them along as the generations progress. We don't want to lose Sonic.
Jones, there was a brief flash of like Sonic and Minecraft, like really quick.
That's right. Yes.
Thing. So he could show up in there. Some Sonic pack.
Cool.
This feels like a 35th anniversary thing. It feels like a giant celebration of Sonic, just because it's
30th.
like is that like is that
it's
part
the
of the party?
30th.
Because it makes me sad when is it like we say Zelda was kind of like the biggest disappointment of the anniversary, where like they just didn't really do anything.
Oh, they haven't
we were
like
kind
I
of
don't think they've
expecting-
even kicked it in that yet.
Yeah, Mario
Well,
kind of got
maybe.
more of the attention than Zelda
Oh
did.
yeah. I mean, and Metro always gets screwed over too.
Because I feel bad when I have a friend that likes a franchise and the anniversary comes around and just nothing really happens. This seems like a pretty fair amount of stuff
Yeah.
Absolutely.
from somebody.
That's
that
like
doesn't-
the best.
I'm like
to
halfway
me,
through the list too.
Sonic's always gonna have a special place in my heart because it put me on the Sega path. Genesis, Dreamcast, playing Sonic with my brother. I feel like, for me, just speaking for myself here, this is like one of the best case scenarios. We're getting the classic games remastered, perfect. We get to play the originals. We're getting one of the greats remastered, which was a pain in the ass to play because it's on Wii. Haven't played that in forever. So we're getting Sonic Colors, and then we have the hope of a brand new one coming in the pretty near future. So I think all in all around, pretty exciting as a Sonic fan today, for sure.
Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games unfortunately could not happen because of the pandemic. But
I saw that after you
Olympic
told me,
Games,
Jones.
Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, you can dress your player as Sonic.
Yes.
So you can have like Sonic with like sneakers on, like cosplaying on and I think it's just track and field. And amongst other things, I saw an astronaut in one shot. Like you can wear lots of funny little outfits.
Dude, the Uncanny Valley in this is real. I'm like,
Yeah,
am
it's
I
bizarre.
looking at a computer game? Is this a real person in a costume? Like, it was messing with my head.
What's the costume sales bump? 2%? Somebody sees this announcement that was not planning on buying.
I'm getting this game now, so you got me.
Ooh.
I'm in.
I didn't even know this existed until today. So
Yeah, it's on my radar. Mission
There it
accomplished.
is. Yeah.
Did Huber just make a sale? Sonic Mania will be on the Epic Games Store on June 24th.
Nice.
Sonic
Don't
Mania,
skip it.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're listening,
again,
It's good.
If you're listening or watching and you have not played Sonic Mania,
it seems like they got a
Do
pretty good
it.
handle on what the better games in the franchise are, because you are smiling and nodding at all of the titles I'm throwing out here. 2 Point Hospital's getting Sonic themed stuff.
Yeah.
On July 22nd. It just looks like they called everybody. It looks like they
Yeah.
robocalled or something.
Sonic
you
and
know, just
Fortnite, when,
everybody-
dude? What's
yeah.
the deal, Jones? Where is
Everybody
it?
picked up
What's
the
the
phone.
deal?
Sonic the Fighters is going to be in Lost Judgment.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Go to the
Remember
arcade
Sonic
and
the
play it.
Fighters.
We played this at Easy Living, right?
we
This was
did.
the one? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that Lost Judgment's PC and console September 24th. And you were sad that all the merch was coming to Japan for Dragon Quest that you couldn't get. Sega's also making a bunch of Sonic merch. And the Sonic mobile games are getting a bunch of updates and stuff. So.
Dude, have you guys seen the necklaces? Have you seen the necklaces, dude?
No.
Dude, you got to see these fucking necklaces. They are insane. Insane, dude.
If you do a necklace check before the next podcast, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look these up.
I was very shocked.
Shocking necklaces?
I was very shocked.
I saw all the merch. Necklaces didn't stand out for me. Maybe I should take a look too.
You got to see what they look like.
Dude. Styled towards a hip-hop look, the Kings of Bling King Ice will be making these jewel-encrusted Sonic necklaces. Jewel-encrusted.
See what I mean, dude? Jewel-encrusted.
Wow.
We got to get one.
Now, I know people are excited that we're going back in the studio, but, you can send us, sometimes we open gifts after group streams. It's not the time. But if you could, I don't know if you have them up. I mean, what are we talking? Tails? Would you go Knuckles? Probably Knuckles, right?
Dude, Bad Boy Knuckles.
What would you do?
Excellent.
Shadow?
Bad Boy Knuckles every time.
Oh, I'd just go Sonic.
Dude, Knuckles is the original bad boy.
For listeners, they're literally just their heads, jewel encrusted.
Yep.
Very, very shiny necklaces. Wow. Necklace hype. We also got to see Horizon Forbidden West today. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad because I was hosting the stream and we were kind of wrapping it up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just stoked on this game and I'm going to play it. Bye, everybody. I don't really have anything else.
It was, I kept thinking about that too,
Jones.
It's
all great.
I was like, I don't really have anything to say, but as I was thinking about it, that was a really good reintroduction to Horizon. It was so far out of my mind for the last year or so, year and a half, whenever we last saw it. And then now it's fresh again. It's like, oh, Horizon, I'm excited about that game. So I think it succeeded definitely in that.
I thought the first time we got a look at it was ambiguous. I remember I said some less than thrilled things about it, which is like terrible because I'm gonna play this and review it and just adore it, So I'm like kind of being nitpicky. And then they did what I think a lot of people should do, depending on whether your announcement goes really good or bad, is just take off, come back when you have a nice chunk to show me, when you have something where it's like, yay, we can be excited about it. I'm just surprised they don't have a lot of conversation starters packed for this podcast because it's not like this is the last Nathan Drake adventure we're going to see. It's not like Kratos is reinventing itself. This is just a franchise that I thought kicked ass on the way in, and I think is going to kick even more ass on next gen. Extremely competent developer, a character everybody loves, like combat that, was built very well. I think this could be a good game.
Because, Jones, even Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart had the loading, the SSD, we're loading into...
Right.
And that was the conversation of oh my gosh, just loading through places. So it's with Horizon, it was just, this looks great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an open world game, so it's hard to do a little crazy shit like Ratchet's doing, I guess. Makes more sense in that universe. I was pleased with some of the gameplay tweaks they're adding, the biggest one being the glider thing.
Yeah.
All three of us were like, yes, good. Keep that in there.
Yep.
Just make navigating so much easier. Some of the new combat stuff, like the spear special ability she did, was really cool. And just that mammoth fight was sweet, man. The destruction going on, and she shot all the guys off and all the wood flying everywhere.
The wood flying off was sick.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean, we've seen a small chunk of this game, so there's
love the underwater, Brad.
Yeah, looked really good. Looked great. Yeah.
And a grappling hook. I would say glider, grappling hook, swimming. Those were kind of the three tentpoles of things. I was like, oh, I don't remember. And again, where I'm not diving really deep in on analysis because it felt missing from the original game, but didn't make me mad. It was something where I was like, yeah, that would be neat to have a little more verticality, or it would be neat, especially after Breath of the Wild. It's like every game needs this now. Immortals definitely agreed. And swimming would have been nice, but there was just so many gorgeous environments and so much great traversal in that. So yeah, I'm just way down. And it makes me wonder when I look up at cliffs and stuff like that, now that we have the glider, it's like, oh, I wouldn't think I could have gone up there in the original game, but maybe we can. Some of those tall buildings, climbing all the way to the top of the Golden Gate. Maybe
float on down. Yeah, I really want to see what exploration is like, Jones, if they nail that on both fronts. If I can dive deep, deep, deep down into an underwater cave and find something cool, and then on the other side, it's like, if I can climb to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge and find something cool up there, and just having all these places high up and far below that you can explore, that's all I want.
What do you think about your enemies, Huber? These machine riders.
Dude, Brad, chainsaw mouth. I didn't even notice it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so cool, dude. I mean, they look like Dino Riders mixed with Lord of the Rings enemies. So, yes, for honor.
Dino Riders cross Lord of the Rings,
yeah,
dude.
So, hell yeah. I'm in, dude.
Yep. Yeah, I want to see, dude, is there going to be, like, mount combat, you know? Can I get on one of those and start, like, munching on enemies or get in one of the big elephants? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what it was called. It was like a tusk something. It had a cool name. I forget.
It was interesting. I had, because it's a demo, you have to wonder, like, how much of this is actually sliced out of, like, a final game. And she got on a mount and then came in on a mount in the cutscene. And I was like, wait a minute. What if you just walked up? Like, would you not be on a mount? Or how does that work? Yeah, and I was, when we first saw that elephant, it's like, is she going to ride that thing? Is she going to Legolas around that sucker? Or what?
Right.
But yeah, the enemies look cool, and again, I didn't think they did enough to show off what the combat can do, and looks exciting, but it's certainly built on stuff that people are very familiar with, having played the first game. No release date. Tons of gameplay, though. A pretty long demo.
That was a good chunk.
A fairly continuous shot.
I'm pretty surprised there's no date window or anything like that. All we know is this year. I think when they first showed this game, it was supposed to be like the first, like, what's the term I'm thinking of? Like the first launch window or some shit like that for PS5. Something like that. But they said their nerves put a date on it for now until they're really sure, which I think is wise, I guess.
What if, learning from Cyberpunk's
Oh, I'm sure plenty of people learned from that.
Because this is cross-gen. I had forgotten about that. I'd forgotten that this is going to be on PlayStation 4, so maybe they're just making sure, taking that extra time, make sure both last-gen, current-gen versions are good to go.
Yeah.
Hubert, Sony is investing really heavily in a lot of these big properties, and it just, like, properties meaning like Insomniac, a lot of these big, devs that they work with, that they own or otherwise, and produce these really, really, top-selling, really high-quality PlayStation exclusives. How pushy do you are when you think it comes to, like, dates? Like, do you think they told Guerrilla, like, or if, like, Guerrilla's like, hey, we have an idea, we're gonna make something that's gonna be, as good, if not way better than the original, and we just need this much time?
I feel like first party is probably pretty flexible. There's obviously, like, hard deadlines and stuff, but I think back to God of War and Cory Barlog and Sean Layden and them having their little jokes, like Sean Layden being like, shit, please. Like, what's going on? And he goes, like, just wait, a little longer. So I bet, you don't want to give them unlimited time, because then they just won't get it shipped. You have to have those strict deadlines and that hard push. But I imagine with something of this magnitude, something this important to the entire PlayStation brand, I imagine time is, like, probably not really even a factor.
Yeah, I'm sure
it is, but it's not.
I'm sure they're given more leeway than maybe, like, some of their other studios, maybe. Like, I assume the big ones, like, Guerrilla is one of the big Sony ones now because of Horizon, so they probably get a little more flexibility. And Jones, I do think a lot of it was, like, Cyberpunk and seeing a game come out when it's not supposed to. Everyone kind of probably is taking a step back and realizing can't fuck it up.
No.
And Cyberpunk was kind of the tip of the iceberg. Like, there was a lot of other stuff.
Yeah,
of course.
A lot of plans. Good plans were laid to waste in 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, it just and like the thing about Sony is always with Dreams. I'm like, I can't believe Dreams got that much time to finish that game. So yeah, I'm always curious about how nice Sony is, just in terms of, like, strong arming, being like, you should finish your stuff. How much time Insomniac bought with the success of Spider-Man to make Spider-Man 2. But I just do want to say, and I feel nervous about this because I am not that big of a PC gamer. I don't have the latest graphics card technology. But this is one of the prettiest games I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy cow.
I know.
Her hair underwater and like...
never does it justice on a stream, too. Even if I'm watching the 4K raw thing on a computer, it's just not the same as when it's in motion and you're actually playing.
Yeah.
Like, and it looks so good even this way, so...
And they'd pop in. They were weird. There was like one clear cut at some point. She like arrived on the beach and then it just cut to her like standing there. Like, but there were also just moments, where... And it's unfair to draw a comparison between this and Ratchet, but just pretty in a different way. Just kind of one of those eye-opening experiences. Are you hungry for that kind of benchmark? Do you think we haven't really seen that with either console yet, or as far as an exclusive is concerned?
Last of Us Part 2,
it's a baiting question, but
recently blew me away visually, so I'm pretty satiated with my visuals.
I remember Demon Souls looked super good when that came out. Like, holy crap.
And it was interesting. No mention of just the old Horizon. You know, there is like a complete edition that you can get, but people were curious if there was going to be a PS5 upgrade or...
Yeah, I was hoping there was going to be.
Any kind of lead in, any kind of lip service to that.
We still got time, but it would have been nice.
Yeah. Maybe next month.
Yeah. And because I got Brad Ellis here, he joined me for the Dying Light video, which he wrote Dying Light is in good shape and also looks good, and I'm happy about it. Textures, character models, animation, story, like
it was looking good. Yeah.
That presentation was real bad, and just really took itself seriously. Had just an uncomfortable host script. Shout out to those hosts, man. It's a hard job.
Job.
It was not. That's a bad script. That was bad. There was an uphill battle.
They did their best.
But then you got Horizon coming in these states of play.
For a laugh, Jones? That's my favorite. Waiting for the laugh.
By favorite, you mean the worst.
Yeah.
Well, then, using your parlance, my favorite is whenever someone who's paid to be a host says they like something. That's you know what I like. This one building or something, that one thing. Sounds scary. And then here comes Gorilla, like, hi, it's been a while, here's the game, I just loved that. Oh, so refreshing, like seeing those two things back to back. What about, just curious before we move on from all of these press things, what did you think in terms of Horizon v Sonic and, Dragon Quest? Do you think there's any lessons to be learned with handling these events? We're just about to get into E3. We're about to get so many different press conferences and digital events. It's been a while that people have had a chance to get good at these.
I mean, Horizon's my preferred method, how they delivered it, but Horizon was just covering one game, and Sonic was doing a bunch of things. Sonic thing was pretty fast, which I really appreciated. I didn't feel like it wasted a lot of my time. But, yeah, just the Dying Light 2, wait, what is it? Stay Human. That's what it's called. Dying Light 2
It's called that now. It's called Dying Light 2 Stay Human.
Dude, the end of that trailer.
Deus Ex. Yeah, it reminds me of Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Stay Human.
Stay Human Revolution.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
but
I mean, the end, he's like, kind of.
Well, it's weird because Dying Light's gonna be multiple episodes like Cyberpunk was with their stuff,
and they've shot them all, or at least they're not gonna make any real significant changes between episodes. So me criticizing it is like fairly pointless, but fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was brutal. And it's still like a dramatic thing. That's the other thing. Is it was so dramatic about the story in the Dying Light thing, and like Horizon was like, yeah, there's stuff going on. There's this infection. It's just these enemy troops. We'll deal with all of that, but we're supposed, really focusing on gameplay today. So, yay! Excited about Dying Light 2.
About super hyped for Dying Light 2. Good drop kick.
Yeah.
Videos.
Good drop kick.
Good melee combat, dude. That first game is so fun, so sweet. Jones, yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like, this game was out of my mind for so long. I didn't have to slog through the presentation. I just watched the gameplay overview. It was like 6 or 7 minutes.
Well done.
This is another one of those things where it's like, this game was out of my mind, off my radar for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm excited again for this. Yeah. So it's cool that, they just kind of kept their head down and then came back with this.
Guerrilla really kept their head down. We've heard a lot about, crazy stuff going on over at Techland, people leaving the team and writers leaving the team and delays. And I guess their community got kind of riled up and they apologized to the community. And some people were like, don't apologize to these weirdos. They're being mad at you for delaying your game. So there's a fair bit of turmoil going on in that community.
Okay.
Interesting to see how that art contest goes that they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Art
People
in,
drawing
like,
zombies
costume.
for money. Excuse me. We'll see. If you're planning on submitting, let us know. And now, a word from our sponsors. Are you unhappy with your smile? You don't have to be. Thousands of people have used Candid, the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth, and now they love their smile. And I got a bunch of these to pick from, just like Sharon H. from Pittsburgh, PA. I wore braces as a teenager. Flash forward 30 years, I had crowding on the bottom, and one of my teeth actually stuck out. That's when I made the decision to move forward with Candid, and I finally got my confidence back. Feels good. Candid's here to help straighten your teeth so you can fall in love with your smile, too. I didn't like those other ones. They had 2 other options. I don't know. Didn't like their stories. Didn't feel it as much as Sharon's. Your treatment's prescribed and closely monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist who's an expert in tooth movement. You have the same quality of care you'd get from an in-office orthodontist from the comfort and convenience of your own home. I have not used Candid, but I have used braces technology at various stages of my life. It was insane a couple years ago when I got braces. I can't imagine how good that stuff is now. So this program makes complete sense to me, and it's so great that you can just literally get stuff in the mail, try it. If it doesn't fit or something, you get that stuff adjusted, and you move on step by step. While other companies use general dentists, quote unquote, Candid only works with orthodontists. With Candid, the same orthodontist who created your plan is with you from start to finish, so you never have to wonder how you're doing. The average Candid treatment is just 6 months. You'll start seeing results way before then, and it costs thousands less than traditional braces. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/easyallies and use code EasyAllies, all one word. That's candidco.com/easyallies, code EasyAllies. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/easyallies, code, you guessed it, EasyAllies. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to clean your butthole. Sorry, just get the facial reactions. Okay. Okay, good. And there's no better way to get your ass in gear than with the Hello Tushy bidet. Hello Tushy's brand new 3.0 modern bidet attachment is here to get your ass ready. It's stylish, eco-friendly, easy to install, and even saves your cheap ass money. I want to say I'm excited every single time. We got our list of all our sponsors is coming up, but whenever I see Hello Tushy come in, it's like, yes, I am prepared. There are, there's sponsors, that I appreciate. I'm wearing some on my head right now, but there's no sponsor that I do research for quite like Hello Tushy. Hello Tushy 3.0 doesn't just clean your butt with a precise stream of fresh water, it cleans itself with the Smart Spray trademark automatic nozzle. Hello Tushy attaches to your existing toilet, no electricity or extra plumbing needed, cutting toilet paper use by 80%, paying for itself in a few months. Plus, Hello Tushy has your ass covered with a 60-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. Go to hellotushy.com/easyallies to get 10% off plus free shipping. This is a special offer for Easy Allies podcast listeners. Go to hellotushy.com/easyallies for 10% off. And Hello Tushy's been very nice to us. And my ass. hellotushy.com/easyallies.
Jesus.
It's so good. It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. I'm so nervous about so many things with this damn podcast. So many things that could go wrong. Is the Beck gonna work or whatever? No sweat for the Hello Tushy read. No sweat endorsing this product. No sweat reading their trashy jokes. Love you, Hello Tushy, and love you, patrons. If you happen to be a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. Let's talk handhelds.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
You ready?
Yeah.
Do you like them? Do you play them?
Sometimes.
Do you own them?
Not really.
Do you know who's maybe going to make a handheld? Do you know the rumored handheld? Who's it coming from, Brad?
Valve.
How's that sound to you?
Sounds like Valve. Kind of intrigued.
Does it? Oh, okay. You're not surprised. This seems like something Valve would do.
No, I feel like they're totally open to experiment with stuff like this, like Steam Box, VR. They're not afraid to throw some cash around.
Hubert, the Switch is successful. No one's arguing that, or no one that's correct.
I only play Docked.
But it's funny that like the Switch, to define the success of the Switch, in my mind at least, if anyone else is planning on making what they call a handheld, I just think of the Switch. It's like, oh, they're gonna make a Switch. It might be bigger. The form factor might be a little bit different with the controls and stuff, but just that control on the side, snap, the whole it seems kind of like the form factor you would go with.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to think if Valve it did a Switch pretend it's just a Switch style, like you were just saying, Jones. That is pretty wild to think about how powerful potentially that thing could be.
It's gonna get hot.
It'd be like a portable PC. You could like dock it and take it with you, maybe. Like,
or I don't know if you would even docking would be just playing Steam games on your PC. So you would just you would probably just take this thing with you. Ars Technica is reporting on this. It's one of those fun situations where everyone else is, but they're all pointing at Ars Technica. They're like, you know. It could also potentially be one of those things that, you know, of course Schreier comes up. Yes, I've played it. I knew this. Keely's like, of course, you know. This is things that we know, but it was Ars Technica that let the rest of the world know. Codenamed Steam Pal. And that might or may not be a final name for the system. Neptune is allegedly the in-company name for it. So that would be interesting if it's not called Steam Pal, because it seems like it was originally called Neptune, and then Steam Pal was the final game.
Wasn't there going to be a Sega Neptune?
Neptune's Pride.
I think it was supposed to be like after Saturn or before it. Kind of interesting.
Sega Neptune, yeah.
Sega Neptune.
2-in-1 Sega Mega Drive and Sega 32X console announced by Sega but never released to the public. Take that, public. That's harsh. And again, this hasn't been announced, and a lot of people are reaching out to Steam and Valve. They're not saying anything. But this very morning in Steam's code, some terms were picked up by Steam DB dev Pavel Jundik, who picked up Steam Pal Games, and Neptune were all added to the code. So something's happening with Steam Pal. I think about Microsoft and a lot of the crazy tools that you can buy to play things that are on Game Pass, to stream stuff on xCloud. It seems like Microsoft is making a lot of this functionality possible, but in a way that's not requiring them to, you know, kind of go back to the drawing board in a way that to invest in as much as Nintendo has.
Right.
Do you think, therefore, it's smart for Valve to spend a lot of money on this, or should they take the Microsoft route?
It's hard to say if it's smart, I guess. I don't know, like, what their metric of success is for this thing either, what they're expecting from it. I think it's a cool idea, Jones, and maybe proof of concept for them to see how it could do. I don't know. It's such a hard thing for me to measure right now.
Steam fans like to spend money, you know?
Yeah.
Specifically coming from this company, I could see this is something they could promote really well. I could see lots of great deals and stuff.
Yeah, it
but
seems smart.
Handhelds are officially gone at Sony. That did not work out for them in the long run. You know, Nintendo, as much success as they've had with the Switch, they essentially turned their home console into a handheld, and kind of vice versa. So I'm curious if there was what we would classify as a risk. Is this something that will just work out?
I mean, just the hardware alone and the price of it. Like, how many games is this thing going to be able to play on Steam exactly? Like, can you play every game on Steam, or only like 85% of some games you can't play on this thing? I don't know.
Ours is saying it's a select. Yeah, so Steam Pal and Neptune were added to the code, but Steam Pal Games was also, so that'll probably be its own filter or its own list or something, a tab. Kind of like VR, where you can like just look at the VR stuff on Steam.
It could be cool, man. If you play a lot of your PC games and they look pretty good, that could be sweet.
Yeah.
From a consumer perspective, Michael Huber, are you excited about the idea of playing Steam games on handheld?
0%. For me personally, no desire. I game in a specific position, either in this chair or on my couch.
Is that the chair?
I'm never
the chair
ever gaming on the go. If I'm gaming on the go, it's like a Hearthstone match on my phone while I'm waiting in line somewhere. So for me personally, don't really need it. But you know, love or hate Valve of the last decade, anytime they do something, it's newsworthy and exciting. And they're talking about making potentially a new console. Definitely intrigued.
How tough would it be to get a Switch owner to buy one of these? Maybe the Switch is the only console they have. You know, it's like, portable, woo! And they're like, Switch has been pretty good to me.
I don't know. Price could be a big barrier, I guess.
Price, games.
I could see this thing being expensive if it's powerful, which I assume it'd be pretty powerful. I can see like $500 or more.
Do you think this will steal any thunder from the Switch Pro rumored?
No, I don't think so. I think like they can coexist, kind of their own thing.
How'd you like to take a crack at stealing Nintendo's thunder in 2021?
If anyone can do it, it's one of the big boys, dude. Valve.
Valve's a big boy, that's for sure.
But that's what I'm thinking. Is like it's going to be weird because if they go ahead and it looks like the Switch, I see identical, products for different audiences. Like I'm sure there's going to be people that own both. Of course, there's no question when people heard about this. Some people are like, all right, shut up and take my money. But it's just going to be interesting. Yeah, some people just have sworn off Handheld like a curse, so it's going to be interesting.
Right.
Whenever I hear rumors like Microsoft maybe doing something, like we wondered that before we really, had gotten all the final details in the Series S and X. And so this seems like a lot of money to, with an audience that's like already, they just announced something where it's the fold out tablet for Microsoft, for Windows, that like you can have it like a 3DS now, where just like the top that you fold it out and then the top part of the screen just plays Game Pass and the bottom part does, which sounds like an awful way to play it, but does like a gamepad, just simulates like all the buttons and you can just play Xbox on the go. There's so much of that stuff going on that like if somebody's so dialed in on that and they're like not going to already access these games that are available through Xbox, through Microsoft, do I necessarily need to spend $500?
Sorry, did you say if you could hook this up to your TV too? Like with a dock or anything like that?
I would doubt it. No details specifically.
I could see that being a big appeal for a lot of people, maybe. Like you play all these PC games on your TV or something.
Take it to a friend's house, show them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something to watch.
And we will...
How far along do we think this is? I mean, is this something we're going to see in like 2025 or...
right
around the corner?
Earlier than that.
Yeah, I don't
know
think
about right around the corner.
I don't think you announce something like this and then wait more than a year. Yeah, I think this is something you just get people excited about. I would be surprised if these rumors are true. And again, when you talk about people digging up code, it's like I don't know if the code guy's lying. We'll see.
Right.
But I could see just holiday. Holiday 21. This is them gearing up. I just don't know if they're going to make a Switch-sized push or if there's going to be like, no, this is something because you kind of need to make your money back.
Yeah, they might start smaller though.
Yeah. But Valve has been surprising me a lot lately, so who knows? Ars also wanted to point out that stuff, really cool tech like the Steam controller or tech that people might have enjoyed, like the Steam controller and Steam machines just vanished, and so, or did not get the support that maybe they deserved or people were expecting, so who knows? Maybe Google and just like yank the rug out. And if you're still skeptical, Gabe Newell kind of teased this earlier this month in a speech in New Zealand. Quote, "You'll get a better idea of that," speaking of like potential new consoles or whatever, "by the end of this year. It won't be the answer you expect. You'll say, aha, now I get what he was talking about." But everybody reached out to Valve and they were like, aha, we're not saying anything right now. So we'll see.
Put Half-Life on that, good to go.
$500, you buying it? Huber's not buying it. Brad, you buying?
Not buying it.
No, not right now. No.
Not buying it.
$400 4K Switch, you buying it?
Yep.
Probably buying that.
Okay.
Yep.
Probably buying that. Trading in though. You trade up. Trade in your old Switch.
Okay.
Get that one.
The larger screen for the portability or the 4K when it's docked? What's the
4K?
What's the major...
4K when it's docked.
I'm with Huber. I'm not huge on the portable mode, the aspect of it. I don't play in that very often. It's cool, but I just don't use it that often. I'm Huber. Stationary. Put me in a chair. Put a TV in front of me.
Playing Zelda all night long.
Yeah.
I can exist in various states of Nintendo fandom at the same time. Granted, we talk about the success of the Nintendo Switch a lot. It's charging right behind the monitor. I'm recording right now. I love that console. I'm really enjoying Pokemon Snap right now. I am so sick of talking about the Nintendo Switch Plus. There's been so many rumors. There's been so many people. Again, it's like this Ars Technica thing is interesting because Ars is like, hey, it's time people know about this. This is really interesting and this will be coming soon. Where it's just like everybody is claiming to know. No, it's coming out now. No, it has this tech or whatever. And just waiting to hear from Nintendo. I threw this at Damiani before a podcast because he's recording he's recording Friendcode tomorrow. I'm like, hey, do you want this? Should I stay away from this? He's like, like just fine, talk about it. So I specifically want to get into details. I am again excited about 4K, 720p resolution on that 7-inch OLED screen. We are roughly the same distance away from the Switch that the Switch was to the Wii U. So in Nintendo terms, it is time potentially for us to get something. I saw that pointed out on social media. And 'tis when things tend to get heavy in the room. Always Bloomberg that comes in and goes, it's time. It's time. The next Switch is coming. But specifically, I want to talk about the significance of it releasing this fall.
Zelda.
Yeah. That's the answer, Jones. Yeah.
Spoilers. Zelda.
Spoilers. See, again, these are things we've been waiting on for so long. I didn't think about Zelda. Like, obviously.
That's probably why it's been taking so long, because Zelda development's been weird.
Hold it. They're holding it.
2020 pandemic.
Maybe.
I feel like the Switch Pro, the only way to show off and to force people to open their wallets is show Zelda on that thing.
The showpiece, as always.
You don't show anything other than Zelda running in 4K on the Switch Pro, and then it sells itself.
You show that Resident Evil Revelations 3, Huber. That's the show on there, too.
Yes, you show a grab bag. You show Mario. Yeah. Show it all.
The Donkey Kong game. Show it all, baby.
Metroid.
Show it all.
I think for real, though, Jones, before the wheels come off, I think Zelda debut Switch Pro trailer.
Well, it's got it, and launches, I'm assuming. Are you going to let Huber mess with your emotions like that, Brad? Are you just going to get...
What do you mean?
What if
Brad agrees?
What if it doesn't happen? If it doesn't happen, are you going to be upset, or are you... Where are you at in terms of... Because that makes sense to me, and that's certainly a,
I mean, that's what I've
worked out for
speculated.
Nintendo well in the past.
Yeah, I've been speculating that for a long time. Like, we've been talking about a Switch upgrade, as you said, forever. And Nintendo has held Zelda back before for new hardware. I mean, look at Twilight Princess on Wii.
It is interesting that as of now, Zelda is way more known as a system seller for Nintendo than Mario is. Mario just kind of bounces in and out here.
Yeah.
Whereas the strategy's worked. Do you think so many people have talked about this console that doesn't exist, that has not been actually barely even hinted at by Nintendo? Is this pretty much locked in at this point? Do you think 2021's locked in? What do you think? You've been throwing out percentages.
2021?
What's the percentage or 2021 to maybe get it this year? What do you think?
Talking to me or Brad?
Yeah,
I'm talking to you, Huber. Is it
Oh
locked?
shit! Sorry, I was waiting for Brad. Dude,
You said you.
95%.
95%.
This is it's borderline absurd how long we've been talking about this thing without any real concrete official word from Nintendo. So I think if this thing drags on into next year, it's just too much, too long. So I think end of this year, fall, holiday.
I think one of the things that makes it fall flat a little bit for me, in order just to get excited about it, is when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X came out, it was always exciting to find those things that could potentially go wrong. Those are always really good conversation starters. Those are really good headlines of just Microsoft or Sony could piss you off a lot in this way. I think this is going to be just a much better product, and I'm going to want to get it. I'd be very surprised if Nintendo did something to the system that would not be... It'd be the question of whether I need it or not, but it'll be a, unquestionable improvement. But interesting that it is just going to be a Switch, probably. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. What do we think about that? It's that this is this form factor is something Nintendo, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I assumed it's just going to be a PS4 Pro, Xbox X kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If you're Nintendo and you got this news this week about Valve, is this even on your radar
I don't think they're worried.
Care?
No, I don't think so.
You're gonna give it lip service in a treehouse or something, or
Valve may have
a joke on Twitter or something, a little bit of support.
They don't have Mario and Zelda.
That is true.
Mario Kart. Keep selling Mario Kart.
Yeah,
but they got Dota.
They've got Dota, and they've got GTA 5.
And Steam. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, this new Switch is probably going to sell for 3-4 years.
Oh, of course it will. Everything's going to sell.
And I don't think a new Mario Kart's going to touch it. I don't think they're going to. I think people are going to be like, "Oh my God, Mario Kart 8 in 4K!" And finally, and it's just going to be it's going to sell more that month than it ever has. We're about to see some new records for Mario Kart 8. Crazy talking about handhelds. Both. I don't know how this rumor from Valve and this christening from Bloomberg to officially say that we should finally start to get totally 100% serious about the new Nintendo Switch. Same podcast. What do you know?
E3 for this one, Jones? Switch announcement?
No, I won't bet on it. I don't know. We'll see when we actually get around to E3 bets how I feel about it. But I could see this just Nintendo being like, no, we want to catch you on a random day. We want to own that day. We don't want that just to be after you. Because we were speculating that they're probably going to take Tuesday, even though they haven't officially said it, because they just love that Tuesday, regardless of whether they're actually going to a convention after or not. But I don't know. I could see there's one random day in September. Boom. There it is. Buy it in 3 months.
Cool.
Or also not at all. And it breaks Brad's heart.
Yeah. Never comes.
It's all right. I mean, I'm used to it with a lot of stuff I like.
Also this week, tomorrow morning, we're going to get to see Far Cry 6 for the first time. So if you're listening to this podcast, early access, you're like, I get this 2 days early. They're not talking about Far Cry.
I already saw some.
What?
Some YouTuber, I believe a Polish YouTuber, put up a video early.
What?
Leaks!
With footage. Yeah,
What?
I saw it.
Well, tell me about it, man. I'm upset even knowing that.
Yep.
Man.
Leaks
About leaks?
Leaks about leaks.
Damn.
There was a big Mass Effect Easter egg in No Man's Sky. The Normandy just chilling in No Man's Sky. Pretty cool.
I think it's like an event right now with the Normandy in there.
I believe it's an event, but they didn't know it was a Mass Effect event. And then they at the end of it, like, oh, hi. Elite Dangerous Odyssey had a rocky launch, so much so that the CEO and co-creator had to apologize. So hopefully that will be better. I think it is running better now, but did not go as planned. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is coming out November 19th. Legends Arceus? January 28th, 2022. Ha, I said it both ways, so you can't correct me. So yeah, Pokemon fans only have 2 months to beat either Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl, or both, depending on how you do that. BlizzCon 2021 is canceled due to obvious COVID concerns. A surprise to either of you?
Kind of, but they did do something earlier this year, so
I think it is that. I'm not saying it's anything else, but I also think maybe a combination of them just like not having much new stuff to show. No, we'll just cancel it. COVID and stuff, cancel it.
The only thing is it would be the time for a new WoW expansion announcement, but they're probably behind.
Yeah.
So who knows?
A report from Sony to investors indicates that Uncharted 4: A Thief's End is coming to PC.
Sweet.
Cool.
Which, the collection didn't go to PC, right? So this will be the first.
No,
Uncharted
not that I'm
game on
aware of.
PC. I wonder if they will, bring that over instead of each of those individually.
Sweet.
Borderlands 3 is getting crossplay on all consoles except PlayStation 4 and 5.
Sony again,
Sony
dude,
was
with
like,
their
nope.
crossplay.
Sony again. Yeah.
Right.
Which
What
again,
the hell?
that's that Epic v Fortnite, which is over, by the way. We're just waiting for the, we're waiting for all of the final details to come out of the Epic v Apple Fortnite battle. But one of the things we learned, is that Sony was paying, Sony wants to be paid for that crossplay. Borderlands 3 didn't. Who knows? But we can speculate now a lot better. As we mentioned before, Dying Light 2 launching on December 7th, looking good. IMO. We got an awesome updated look in Unreal 5. We got a new trailer, so that is looking great, and that is going into early access. And there's a rumor that Team Ninja is developing a Final Fantasy action game called Origin.
Yes.
That's some E3 stuff right there, Huber.
Yeah, Jones. Do you know more about this? You know the rumor?
There will be more time, for the Easy Allies podcast and for Easy Allies in general to talk about that.
All right.
That could be fun.
Of course,
Damiani also clearly knows way more.
Jones, do you like Sora?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Good.
I do.
Good.
Yeah. I feel bad for the guy. He went through a lot.
Cares about his friends.
I went through a lot making that timeline. Not as much as Sora went through, but yeah.
Nice.
If he felt half as bad as I felt, no, I'm kidding. It's time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
From Cody Spencer, I was reading a Polygon article about video game industry predictions from about a decade ago. Most of these predictions did not come true, and I thought it'd make a fun game. I have a list of predictions. This is a hard game, by the way. We have a lot of games set up for this Love and Respect. I've listed predictions, but have removed a few words from each one. You have to fill in the blanks. Also, congratulations on getting back to the studio on the 10th. Love and respect, Cody.
Yay.
These are tricky, but it's kind of like Mad Libs. I'm just curious to see if you can throw anything in here. A research and development manager pledged that they would, by 2020, quote, put you in a blank scene from blank and render all of that completely convincingly.
Put you in a blank
scene from blank.
Put you in a shocking scene from a Pixar movie.
And render it all convincingly.
An action scene in a Marvel movie.
A historical battle from 1000 AD. I don't know why 1000 AD is the key, is the apex of historical battles. Quote, I think it's safe to say that most games and all AAA games will be authored in blank by 2020, said an analyst.
Digital?
Most games and all AAA games will be authored in blank by 2020. This is a long time ago that these predictions were made.
Unreal.
I don't know.
I wonder. 3D. So they were like, most games, all AAA. All
Dude,
AAA.
Was that Dawn wishing that?
Yeah, maybe. But not meaning 3D, like 3D.
Like 3D glasses,
like that,
right?
But like
no,
like 3D like again, these are decade old predictions.
Okay.
So this is right around the PlayStation era, but potentially they're looking ahead and being
Gotcha.
like, oh, no one's making 2D games anymore. It's like, haha, one was announced today or last night. Blank and or blank might face declines over the next decade, and blank will make an entry into the console market. You can maybe get the first two blanks.
Nintendo and Sega and Microsoft entering.
I think it's Sony and Microsoft and
correct.
Sony and Microsoft.
Sony and Xbox specifically might face declines over the next decade.
But
and blank
like
will make an entry into the console.
Amazon,
Yes.
Apple,
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it on the first round.
Nice.
Imagine an RPG where going to work and sitting in your office actually gains you blank in game, or going on a date in real life actually accomplishes a blank or a blank. Those other two blanks are essentially the same word.
Achievements. Yeah. Trophies.
Okay.
Experience.
Correct.
Nice.
Experience points. Or going on a date in real life actually accomplishes a blank.
Accomplishes a blank.
Going on a date in real life. Talk about pressure.
Yeah, I don't know.
A quest or a mission.
Oh.
You go on a date and it checks off a box.
Quest. Go on date.
Imagine. Gaming, quote, will still mainly be a blank pursuit.
Niche,
yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Male.
Oh.
Blank would be available and cheaply produced, and games would read players' facial expressions and react accordingly. Not there yet. Blank would be available and cheaply produced. Not VR.
Virtual reality? No.
No, not VR.
Augmented reality.
Blank. I don't know.
Mind control devices.
Holy shit.
What the hell?
And cheaply produced.
That's scary,
awesome.
dude.
What the hell?
Mind control.
Did you ever really do, I mean, we speculate all the time in these realities, but did you ever, like, in elementary school, like in high school, like, I just imagine, like, games reading your facial expressions, like, did you totally talk about that stuff? Like, can you imagine if you were, like, in there?
Oh, yeah.
Heart rate stuff, for sure.
You could eat stuff? Well, Nintendo's, yeah.
I mean, just think about VR for when we were kids, like what it was compared to now.
From Revelo, I am not an easily bothered person. In life, I have fairly tough skin, but I had a conversation the other day that left me rattled. It started with the sentence, Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together is such a ripoff of Final Fantasy Tactics. The words echoed in my ears. I quickly explained that Tactics Ogre precedes Final Fantasy Tactics considerably. The conversation ended with both parties huffing in frustration, and it made me confront harsh realities. We don't give enough credit to the quote-unquote original. Mega Man Legends had Z-targeting a solid year before Ocarina of Time hit store shelves. The PSP Go had a dock that let you hook it up to a TV to play your games with a DualShock 3 controller. Sounds like a Switch. Sure, these aren't always perfect iterations, but they were the progenitors of invention, and so many of them have gone forgotten. Does the panel have examples of this injustice? If so, let's set the record straight.
I mean, Doom always gets credit, but it was really Wolfenstein 3D.
It wasn't
like,
Wolfenstein
even before
3D.
That,
it
wasn't even Wolfenstein, but like
it was
the
some
modern,
RPG. It was like whatever RPG that is. Ultima
that like
doesn't
weird
get nearly enough
maze
cred.
one, the ball. There's like a first-person ball in a maze. Yeah, no, but everyone just gives Doom the credit.
I remember there's like a cross. I remember Ryan Stevens got footage of it, and it was something. It was like some fantasy thing, and they're like holding up a cross in Doom levels. I mean, this is Apple. Like, Apple didn't invent anything. They just made the cleanest, newest, prettiest version of it, and then everyone just kind of dialed in. But yeah, it's. I don't know. Does this upset you? Have you any of you ever got riled up by this?
I don't think so.
I mean, no. I syndrome so hard, I'm always comparing shit to everything, so someone wants to just quickly correct me and be like, well, actually, it was, it's...
So you appreciate that? You don't.
Sometimes, yeah, it's like splitting hairs. It's
like actually...
Yeah, there's a time... It's case to case, I'm okay with it, but also sometimes it's completely unnecessary.
Right.
But, I mean, because a conversation is different than like an academic. Like if this is academically discussing the origins of said thing, then we better get our facts straight. But if it's just off the cuff discussion, I mean, depends on the type of conversation. If it's casual conversation, or again, if it's like academic, you obviously want those facts to be correct.
I wonder why the guy who wrote in was upset. Because
it sounded like it was an actual debate. It actually sounded like it was an actual...
Well, you could just be like, well, here's the dates on the internet.
Yeah,
you just pull out your phone.
Yeah, own them.
Even then, though, it's like people, welcome to the 21st century. You put, information in front of people's faces, and they're like, it's like Westworld,
true.
like, it doesn't look anything to me. It's just like, yeah. This, I rarely pull this card in these guys' podcasts because I always want to make myself be perceived much younger than I actually am. But you suckers will get to this. As you get older, because you will have a conversation with someone that you think is somewhat of your peer. It's like a video game player that is maybe a decade away from you or something, and you will talk about some piece of information, and they're like, no, I don't agree with that, or I don't think that's true. And you're like, I lived it. I don't know what you're talking about. It is, trust me, it's true. And it's like, nah. And like, it might get under your skin. Maybe not Brad's. It might get under Huber's skin. I can see this sitting Damiani or Bloodworth. But
I'll just make sure they know they're wrong.
Sometimes something will get under my skin, like, really intensely for, like, a minute. So intense, but then in the next minute, I'll just be like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can get caught in the moment of stuff. But, yeah.
What was the game? I just want to get... It's because I'm going to get corrected next week. And the thing before Wolfenstein...
yeah, get it.
It's some,
it's coming.
We know, chat.
I can hear him typing in the future.
We know it's some maze ball game.
Oh,
damn it!
Wikipedia is actually. Oh, it's like fantasy based though.
Yep.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Sounds good and all, but yeah, that's why I miss Ryan Stevens. That's why you got there. Bloodwood now. From Caleb Moran with the news of you returning to the studio. Oh, jeez.
Cut you off. There's always got to be one. I got it right here, Jones. Man, right here. The first-person shooter genre has been traced back to Wolfenstein 3D. Which has been credited with creating the genre's basic archetype upon which subsequent titles were based. That was 92, Doom was 93. Doom obviously gets so much more of the credit, but
I think it was the tech. It was specifically that tech of the way you were able to see the environment. There was a fantasy game that was released before that. So when you think of like shooters, you weren't like shooting bazookas and stuff
Maze
in this
War.
Fantasy game. Maybe it was
Maze War and Spasm.
Ooh, I don't know about Spasm.
Whoa.
Spasm. And MIDI Maze. Cool. Slightly more sophisticated first-person shooter was Panther, Tank Simulator, 1975.
More sophisticated.
Super interesting.
Huber, give me a nod when I can do the next Love and Respect post. From Caleb Moran, with news of you returning to the studio coinciding with the return of E3 in whatever form it shall take this year, I wanted to celebrate with an E3 game. All you need to do is guess the game the ally is reacting about. I'll provide the year and the conference it took place in. Some are incredibly easy, some less so. Love and respect, Caleb from Australia. Can't wait to see you all back in the studio. And just set your expectations, because we did just announce that June 10th, the first day of E3, according to Jeff Keighley, we will be back reacting. We'll be recording the podcast in the studio that night, which I'm very excited about. But as far as our E3 coverage, man, we're just going to be happy to be in the studio. Don't expect some revamped graphics package. Don't expect some big crazy thing. If the lights turn on, we're going to go, woohoo!
Yeah.
And get to work.
And lots of loving embraces.
Number 1, EA Play in 2016. Brandon Jones, said, quote, "It's just... we're going back to this amazing era of World War I. Screw the music, though. All the music made during World War I era is crap."
Yeah.
Battlefield 1. I remember to this day, dude.
That's the easy one.
The Seven Nation Army, whatever that shit. Jones was so mad.
No, but that's what that's one of those.
It was the trailer, man.
Like,
they showed like the same trailer a ton.
Number 2, in Microsoft 2019, Ben Moore said, "Oh my God, no! I've been waiting forever for this. Are you serious? Oh my God, the
Phantasy
moment it's
Star
here. They're
Online
doing it.
2.
It's 2. They're doing it. I got to live to see this."
Yep. It's Phantasy Star.
Yeah, which we brought up in corrections. Number 3, at Sony in 2017, Michael Damiani said, quote, "Yo, they were right. This is the intro. Look at this shit. And it's not a remaster. It's a remake."
7.
I'm sorry, what year?
Last Guardian.
Sony in 2017.
Colossus, Shadow of the Colossus?
Shadow of the Colossus.
There
Bonus,
we go.
Bradley Ellis, upon the lack of an audience reaction, "Look more excited."
Yeah. I was upset. Not enough people were hyped for that.
At Microsoft's press conference in 2018, Michael Huber said, quote, "This is the best combat I've ever seen in my life."
Devil May Cry?
Microsoft, 2018. No.
Microsoft?
Microsoft, 2018. "This is the best combat I have ever seen in my life."
What a bold
Scalebound?
statement.
I think you would agree. Still. I think you would be like, "Oh no, still." Or, you know what? No, it's not that one specifically. I believe you said one time this game has the best boss fights you've ever seen in a game. And I think you would still agree with that.
Sekiro? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sekiro.
Oh, this is a Microsoft. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Totally.
Forgot I was at Microsoft, dude. Activision.
Yeah.
Still my favorite combat.
At Bethesda 2018, I said, "We saw this at Microsoft. If he calls for applause after this trailer, I'm walking away." Could be anything, really. But
This is Fallout 76 or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At Sony in 2018, Ian Hink said, "That was homoerotic."
Huh.
2018 Sony?
Sony, 2018.
Last of Us Part 2?
God of War?
2018? God of War?
No.
Yeah.
No. Huber, do you like Sora?
Kingdom Hearts 3!
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wait, what?
Ian said that?
What could they have been talking about? At Microsoft 2018, Bradley Ellis said, "Oh no, oh why? You can't sweep Funko Pops under the rug that easily."
Yeah, it's Gears of War, right? The Gears of War
Pop.
Fun Cop? Yeah.
I like Fun Cop, though. That's Gears of War Fun Cop. In Microsoft in 2017, Michael Huber said, "An axe and a shotgun on the logo? Got me with the logo."
What the hell is a shotgun and an axe on the logo?
State of Decay? Or
Yes.
some shit?
State of Decay 2, dude!
Yeah.
Dude, I always wanted to play that, but it launched so buggy. I wonder how it patched up.
Time for a revisit. Or time
For
to
a
check, man. It's
revisit.
been a while.
Didn't
It's
they
been a
tease
while.
3? Was it like a deer where they got sniped or something? They teased 3, right?
Probably, yeah. I think so.
I am not going to play 2, but I will give 3 a chance, just like I gave 2 a chance, but then just bounced off of it. I want State of Decay to be the best. I want State of Decay 3 to be the best zombie game I ever played. Like,
Yeah, it'll be on Game Pass, dude. Easy entry.
What are you typing, Huber? What are you looking up?
Looking at the patches.
Come on.
All right, I'll ask this one to Brad. Sony 2017, Ben Moore said, "The world will finally understand." Sony 2017, "The world will finally understand."
Devil May Cry.
I think the world understood pretty much.
The world understood Devil May Cry
But Ben
1.
Moore's expectations of what people should expect from Devil May Cry.
We talked about this franchise earlier because we were talking about franchises that did well in Japan but are now finally like really, really taking hold.
Dragon Quest 11?
Yakuza?
Oh, Yakuza's a good pick. Yeah.
Monster Hunter World.
Oh, Monster Hunter World
will finally understand.
He was right. I finally understand. Ben Moore, you're a prophet. I finally understand.
I feel like he would say that about a lot of Japanese games, though. Or a lot of games.
And has.
But yeah.
It's always nice to throw it out there. In case somebody does a game on these guys' podcasts, then you made it. You're correct.
Yeah.
And finally, at Sony in 2018, Daniel Bloodworth said, wow.
High praise from Blood.
Yeah.
Sony
this
2018?
impressed Blood. Could have been good or bad. The reason why. Sony 2018. The weird one. The one I wasn't there for. I was at this.
Ghost of Tsushima? No.
There aren't many. There sadly aren't many options to pick from that presentation. That was The Last of Us Part 2. When it was revealed the E3 stage was the same as the stage in game that they built the church. Said.
Oh. Wow.
Wow. So it wasn't necessarily the wow you want from Bloodworth, but sometimes
that's all you're gonna get.
Sometimes a wow is all you're gonna get.
Oh, I hope we see that multiplayer next month.
From Robert Cassidy, Overwatch 2 is being sold as a full sequel to Overwatch 1, but it maintains PvP capabilities between games. Changes made to Overwatch 2 will be reflected in Overwatch 1, meaning 6v6 Overwatch will become impossible to play on the day Overwatch 2 releases, even for people who haven't bought the new game. This continues a now familiar trend of multiplayer games overwriting themselves through updates over time, essentially deleting their original selves from existence. Should we be fighting for more WoW Classic-style releases for, if nothing else, archival purposes, or is it just inevitable that it'll be impossible to play most contemporary multiplayer games in their original forms in the future?
I don't know. What made WoW Classic work so well, I mean, it had been so long since WoW Classic, or WoW, that era of WoW had been around, and people were playing on private servers. Honestly, I don't know of anyone wanting to play Overwatch
1.0
from an earlier patch that I'm aware of so much. I mean, there hasn't even been, the sequel's not even out yet, so it's hard for me to say. I think it's too early for something like that. But of like some MMOs, maybe, sure.
I think of StarCraft. I think of Brood War. Even when StarCraft 2 came out, there was some pushback. People not wanting to
yeah, but was it? Did they do the remaster though?
And they remastered it, of course. But just the initial Wings of Liberty.
I mean, yeah, you're always get people that won't move right away.
Smash Bros. Yeah, totally.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about WoW with the changes is that it's not just the big crazy cataclysm flying change. It's not just expansions and stuff. Even just with those updates, like you would leave Paladin and go play Druid and then go back to Paladin is a totally different class. Like I just remember playing like Final Fantasy 11 and WoW and Guild Wars and City of Heroes, and like WoW clearly was on the fast track. Like they were changing so much so fast. And yeah, I think it's that last one, Robert. Sadly, I think this stuff is get it while it's hot.
Yeah, and like fundamentally, I feel like modern WoW is just such a different beast in philosophy compared to older WoW stuff. They're just so different.
Yeah, Overwatch 2 is like the hardest sell I've experienced in recent time. Like my hype is in the negatives. Like I don't understand this, especially when you have. Sorry to always bring up Fortnite, especially when you have Fortnite just like launching new, Fortnite 2, Chapter 2 for free.
Sure.
You don't have to buy a whole new product, because it just seems like they've done a bad job of marketing it. Obviously, the pandemic and stuff and canceled plans, but it feels like a paid expansion at this point. They're going to have to show off a lot more stuff to change the narrative on that.
Well, not only just Fortnite, but Destiny. This is kind of off topic for the question, but I don't know if it was just journalists that said this or if we actually heard this from the Destiny team, but they were like, Destiny 2 maybe wasn't the best idea. Maybe we should have just, just kept adding stuff again, Fortnite style.
Yeah.
So
it's the way
interesting.
To do it.
Interesting for this to be one of the things, that we're, really excited, kind of hopefully raises spirits in terms of Blizzard fans. And I say that only just because I've seen, your hearts get broken over and over again. But yeah, these multiplayer games are going to change. But specifically, Robert, I did not know that detail about Overwatch, so thank you for enlightening me.
I miss Battlefield 2. They shut it down, Jones.
It's not available anywhere?
Yeah. I think private servers maybe, but like officially it's shut down.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was its own special thing. Those days.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
It's time for bets. It's time for bets. Next week's bet, Elder Scrolls Online Blackwood launches on June 1st. Ben checked it out. Ben enjoyed it. Excited to see how the community will embrace that game. A lot of those Elder Scrolls Online updates, they get those launch trailers. They got one for Skyrim, Elsewhere, Greymoor, Morrowind, and Somerset. I want to know the total running time of the launch trailer for Blackwood. It might not get one, and that has happened before, actually. Sony pulled one of those. I think like Maquette or something didn't get a launch trailer. I was surprised. So the shortest TRT on this list will get the win if there isn't a launch trailer. My score is not low because I think they will have one. Brad Ellis, what's your bet?
2:20.
2:20.
2 minutes,
okay.
20 seconds.
Oh, Huber.
Nice, Brad.
Go low.
Minute 41.
Excellent.
Huber got the low because I went red just ahead of Brad. 2:36 is mine. And I just get the one bet this week and next because my lazy co-moderator.
What a bum.
Disadvantage.
Chilling right now.
Yep.
I'd say he's sleeping now because he's ahead, but Blood doesn't sleep.
Does not.
True.
Does not sleep. Sleeps with one eye open.
Both eyes open, do like Gandalf.
Well, this week's bet, an airport for aliens currently run by dogs launched on May 25th. Right now, I'm going to go to the top viewed stream on Twitch. How many words will be in the first sentence spoken by a dog that I see? Michael Damiani bet 10. Michael Huber bet 7. Daniel Bloodworth bet 2. I bet 5. Here we go. I'm actually going to bring this up in the recording. Boom. Let's do it. Let's refresh the page so people at home don't think I'm lying. Barry is streaming, is currently playing this game for 535 viewers. We're going into the stream. Boom. He is talking to a dog right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's big. It's definitely more than 10, giving Damiani the win. This is Dog Bigadome, and he is saying they're rare. But if you find a remnant of the alien civilization, I dearly appreciate you bringing it to me.
Whoa.
Just to give you a
Great
taste.
sentence.
That is that quote, giving Damiani the win. Bringing our scores to Jovial Penguins, 13. Vociferous Beavers, 10. Gotta do them both because Bloodworth isn't here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. We hinted at that earlier. I should have maybe said something at the top, but folks, we got one, I believe, more podcasts in this wacko home setup that we're still totally using for reactions and when we're lazy and don't want to go into the studio. But the Easy Allies podcast, as of June 10th, will be recorded in our studio in person. We'll be in the same room. Ian will be there for every episode in the booth, moderating things, technically, and Blood will be there. And we were able to maintain our studio. A lot of people pointed out when we made the announcement we were going back on the 10th that a lot of outlets that got studios in the last couple of years that are similar to us financially were not able to support that. We have a tremendous community that has financially supported us not only for the 5 years of our existence, but a lot during this last year, a very difficult year. Shout out, obviously, not only to our shout out patrons, so I'm going to talk about it in a second, but to all of our patrons, everybody listening to the podcast, helping us get all these fun sponsors that we've had, everybody involved. Thank you so much to our patrons. And on June 11th, early access, June 13th, for everybody who gets this on Sundays, we will see you on this podcast in the studio. I'm very excited. Holy cow. I'm looking forward to smelling you guys from a distance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to approach you and get uncomfortable about it, but just the mix in the room. I miss that aura. The very tip-top tier on our Patreon is the shout-out tier, and this is the last time in the month of May that we will be shouting out this specific list of people. So if you want to be on the shout-out tier in June, go over to patreon.com/easyallies. And if you want to pay up, this is our tip-top tier, and on all of our shows, we'd like to give them the shout-out. Brad, you're going first. I'm going after you. Huber, you're going third. Shout-out to Caleb Toki Crawford, Edsker, So I'm a Spider, So What, Elfanis, Esdocal, Greg, The Dark Knight Kettering, and Nick.
Shout
out.
Neat. Well, Huber had a bad bet, so Brad Ellis, you won this podcast. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote. You get the final word on anything you disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign-off.
Okay. I want to promote the newest episode of Huber Syndrome. Huber's going through the games of June. And you know what comes out in June? Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
It does.
Listen to Huber talk about it.
Got some more details.
Check it out. Final word. I hope Sonic's good, man. This new Sonic coming. I need it, man. Like, I need a really good 3D Sonic. I've been waiting a long time. I know there's fans of the other ones, but it hasn't clicked with me, man. Just desperately want a 3D Sonic I can just fall in love with, almost. Just have a good time. Remember that? Be excellent to each other, everybody. Bye-bye. Could smell it, baby. It's sizzling back there. Whew.
Cooler racers.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Caleb Togi Crawford, Edsger So I'm a Spider, So What? El Thanis, Esdokal, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Nick, Walker Hope, Will Schmuck, Alex AI, Alexander Zirianov, Alexandra Reyes, Ali Cat, Beaten Down Brian, Bradley Spees, Dave Red, Discarded Digit, Douglas Chomich, Freya Lawson, Hayden Hargraves, Happy Gaming, Happy Birthday Brad, Jesse Blue, Jay Shee, Jose Gutierrez, Miguel Rivas, Nicholas Johnson, Paulo Costabel, Richard G. Flowers, Rob Bob Will, Robert Stoffel, Roy Sung, Sage Mode Q, Samsa Stormbaum, Sigma, Chum Nguyen, Valmar, Yasser Kerbushi, Aurelien Grenier, Brad Grenz, Ryan Kruger, Charles Anthony Iapicino, Candy Coated Thorns, Dale Sun, Gary James, G. Levin, Gustav Strombaum, Jake Musser, James Vitt, John Tyson, Jesper Popmel Dufay, Jethrin, John Burns, Jordan Kirk, Kroldemort, Leif, Luke Bennett, Mango, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Matthew Holcomb, Matthew Pauling, Nathan Watkins, Oni Blackmage, Pete Shoemaker, Robert Crouch, Ryan Anderson, Sam Handrick, Spiral in Your Eyes, Stepan Hakobian, Stephen Thomason, The Banana Forklift Killer, Todd Yurkovic, Rack, Zachary Wingate. Accounts payable, Adam Henry, Adam Lindsay, Adam Sharonbrock, Ahab, Ahmed Al-Rashed, Alex Glass, Alex Lavanier, Alex Monaco, Alexander Irving, Allison Burt, Andreas Risberg, Andrew Stoke, Andri, Andy Marks, Anthony Galvin, Austin, Barry, Bjarnar Haraldsvik, Blake Bonsack, Blue, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Brandon White, Breadroll Art, Brian Foster, Briscoe Davis, Brittany Fuller, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Chase Caldwell, Chief Uhu, Chris the Pianist, Christian Simniak, Christian Hundorf, Christoph Fatui, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Cody Westley, Colin Hoyleman, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Crediar, Culinary Stud, Cyberboa, Dakota Hayes, Damnable Nook, Dan Sebring, Daniel Dupree, Daniel Fuchs, Daniel Wong, Dan Pan 16, David Hadow, David Kubota, David Wilson, David Boyarski, Delisi, Dimitri Zetas, Don Turner, DRD 7 of 14, Edison S. Prada Jr., Eric Maynard, Eric Tobias, Eric Gustafson, Aspen Gotchman, Ethan Satz, Ethereal Ether, Faraz Rizvi, Fishflop, Forrest, From the Void, Gabriel Aberg, Glenn Olson, Hadi Ali, Harrison Holt McHale, Helen Y, Hitman 47, Isun Chor, Ian Anderson, Ibrahim Sozer, Isaac Swanson, Jay Aldiar, James Davey, Jameson Lapine, Jana, Jason I, JC3, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Jeremy Ferris, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, Joe Frantic, Joel Short, Joey Din, John Gallagher, Jojo Denko, Jonathan and Amy Alconas, Jordan Phillips, Joshua Vanswall, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Julius Garcia, Junya Motomura, Justin Payne, Carl Williams, Kartik Tiwari, Kevin Gillet, Lars Berger, Lee Young, Leon Keys, Lindsay Wells, Linson Wu, Liam Ahern, Luis Ibarra, Lion Crown 19, Mikey Moe, Malcolm Moschette, Malianware, Manuel Thomas, Marcel Giroux 17 Froelich, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Matt Ferguson, Matt Karwoski, Matthew Holmes, Matthew Migler, Matthew T. Ryan, Maverick Lee Back, Mazrim Tame, Megadet, Megan McDonough, Michael Bisegli, Michael Clendenan, Michael Kozachenko, Michael Pliskin, Michelle Nubb, Miguel, Mikhail Anyel, Mike Calvi, Mike Hook1, Mikey Mizek Novak, Misuki 211, Mither Strongbeard, Mo Grant, Molly Bittner, Morpheus, Mr. Anarchy, Natabia Ross, Nefertiti Jenkins, Neil Bruce, Nycrypt, Noah Weinstein, Ulf himself, Orugachino, Pablo Rodriguez, Paul Nolson, Paul Sway, Philip Higdon, Quinn Riley, RF Switch, Rafael David Aquilino Baki, Raymond Lee, Reed Johnson, Richard Goodwin, Ritz 1906, Robert I, Roy Eschke, Russell Bateman, Ryan Wagner, Ryan Curtin, Sabine T., Sam Sorensen, Samuel Copeland, Sean Cornett, Sebastian Urban, Sebastian Trier, Sid Raghunandan, Silent Consonant, Sneaky Gato, Spencer Stevens, Splontot, S-Snake24, Stefan Hines, Strikeout NZ, Super 3D Cow, T-Beaks15, Tense George, The Classiest Tobo, Tim Strothman, Thomas Blaze Fauchereau, Tim Mann, Tim O'Keefe, TJ Sullivan, Toasty Soul, Tom Masterman, Travis Kikowski, Travis Ing, Travis Miosi, Trevor Thomas, Trevor JM89, Tristan Howard, Trizac, Tuttle, Tyler Wallace, V8 Dave, V. Kira Ray, Volker Bach, Wavy Chula, Willow Pingree, Wobes, Wouter DeHaze, Zealous, Zahid Hosseini Karami, ZK.